right, hello wine-drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday, and yet another supplier for Bordeaux here. And this is also, well, a big producer in Champagne, Canard-Duchêne, the duck in the woods, or whatever that comes out to. Anyways, it's an old house. Those are the two family names, and this is purchased by this group, the Dorth Group, a very big negotiant out of Bordeaux, one of the largest landholders. They have 500 acres, wow. And old Bordeaux family, very big negotiant. And, well, you got to have some champagne if you're in Bordeaux, because they don't make sparkling wine, not to a large extent, not any good stuff anyway. So this is the authentic Brut, and what a great little value at $34.50. Just goes to show you, you can find some very good little champagnes for short money. And this wine's a little bit heavy on the Pinot Noir at 45%, but contains all three grapes, and they buy from 60 different growers. That is the art in Champagne, putting together this assemblage that is similar every year, because, hell, you don't know what grapes the grapes are from. This guy that came and presented me once said, I think they're 2007. But, you know, unless we have the Canard-Duchêne decoder ring, there's no way to tell what the code means on the back of the bottle in terms of disgorgement. I'd like it if you would just please put the disgorgement date on the back of the label. It's not that hard. There's a lot of people doing it, and you know, we really would like to see that. Those of us that love champagne, we want to know approximately how old it is when we buy it. Anyways, this wine's a very fresh style, so you notice it wasn't that old. You can also tell when the cork expands out that the wine's not that old. This wine's got that lovely apple and lemon citrus on the nose, hints of ginger, kind of fresh biscuity notes as well. Very fresh and clean style on the palate with that crisp green apple, lemon citrus, notes of that ginger spice and pretty floral notes as well. That chalky minerality that, you know, is champagne, and a very good little wine there. All right, the Canard-Duchêne Authentic Rosé, which very light rosé, but lovely, pretty raspberry and strawberry fruit, floral notes, red licorice spice, very smooth and creamy mousse on the tongue with a light berry fruit, fresh and clean, light refreshing, that seashell minerality showing at the end, a very pretty floral nuance there as well. Very good juice. Both of them a little on the light side, but very refreshing, and $42, light on the pocketbook as well. All right, the Dorth La Grande Cuvée. Dun, 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 dun. Anyways, this is a Bordeaux Blanc here at $12.75. Man, you can find some really good values, even though 13 was pegged as a horrible vintage. I talked to the negotiant, said one of the worst vintages they've experienced in recent history in Bordeaux. This wine's a nice little wine. I mean, you know what? It's fresh, kind of white grapefruit, lemon, briny notes, really clean on the palate, texture of skim milk, that light briny note showing through on the finish, a little musky nuance as well. Very good little wine at $12.75, man. You can find some great values in white wines from Bordeaux. All right, Chateau Garde from Pessac. Well, not many good values in Pessac. 2011 is a great vintage. And this is a blend of Sauvignon Blanc, Sauvignon Gris, and Semillon. It's got that lovely pineapple, green melon-like fruit to the nose, chalky, minerally notes, a bit of that musky onion peel kind of notes, very aromatic, and that Pessac, gravelly, minerally nuance. Lovely intensity on the tongue, kind of creamy mid-palate, that savory pink grapefruit, citrus, and ripe green melon fruit showing through, along with that tongue-tingly minerality you get from Graves. Even better on the second day. That's why we raised the score on these wines. They need a little time to open up, even though they were with some of these wines out of a Corvin, which well, that would make sense. They don't have time to open up if they're taken out with a Corvin. It's just like the day you opened it, right? All right, well, the Chateau Grand Barrel was our first red, and this is Barrel Le Marzel from Saint-Emilion Figeac. This is a blend of 70% Merlot, 30% Cabernet Franc from a cooler vintage, 08. And this one's got a beautiful bouquet, though. Coffee, fresh plowed earth, dark currant, and plum fruit. Very smooth and drinkable wine on the tongue with fine, silky tannins. A nice amount of that dark plum and cherry fruit, coffee, fresh earth. Really nicely balanced wine, and really needs a little time in the glass. This wine opened up nicely. Even better on the second day. Some lovely chocolatey notes coming out. An excellent little Saint-Emilion from 2008. All right, the Chateau Garde, the red version here of the Pessac. A blend of Cabernet Merlot and Petit Verdot, just 2%. And it's a great vintage in Bordeaux, this 2010. These wines both needed time, these 2010s. Much better on the second day. Lovely dark currant, cassis fruit, fine herbs, cocoa, espresso, gravelly, minerally notes. A big hand of tannins here on the tongue. The good amount of fruit to match, though. Fresh earth and all that nuance, that minerality showing in layers. And really holding up nicely on the second day. Excellent juice. And at $49.50, really fairly priced. The 2010 Belgrave from Omedoc. Well, this is a classified growth, thus the $67.50 price. Price similar to what you find a Cantor Merlot, but this wine not nearly as well known in this country. It's got a little Merlot Petit Verdot, and just outside of the Saint Julien boundary, separated by a little stream from their neighbor, Lagrange. They make about 50,000 cases. You know, Bordeaux, a lot of these chateaus make a lot of wine. And this has got a classic bouquet of fresh earth, some herbal and floral notes, dark spices, tobacco, and black pepper. A big and chewy wine on the tongue. These 2010s need a day to open up. This wine also much better on the second day. Dark cocoa and a firm hand of tannins. Really, really lovely acidity in this wine. Very well built. Like I said, even better on the second day. Excellent juice. One of the better Omedocs that I've had this year, 2010 vintage. All right, and then we went down. You never want to go down. You always want to go up. 2009 Latour Reserve Superior Bordeaux. 2009, a very good vintage. This is from their holdings in Entre-deux-Mers, which this is Merlot country, man. So 90% Merlot. Cabernet and Petit Verdot make up the remainder of the blend. This wine's got a very fruity nose, currants and cassis, a little tobacco spice. Fairly simple, a light and easy drinking wine, but these 2009s have got a lot of forward juicy fruit, some dark tobacco spice on the nose. A very good little wine at $20. And then the Clos de la Siete wine from Mendoza. This is the winer that 7 investors from Bordeaux came over to Mendoza to develop 450 acres of vines, Michel Rolland being one of them. This wine, a classic Bordeaux-style blend with a little Syrah thrown in there. 53% Malbec, Cabernet Sauvignon, 18%, 17 Merlot, 11 Syrah, and 1 Petit Verdot. They're down to 5 investors now, so some of these guys have broken off and done their own thing. This wine's got a good amount of dark berry fruit, plum, notes of milk chocolate, fresh earth, kind of loamy notes, and more. Even better on the second day. You know, this wine opened up beautifully. Good amount of currant and cherry fruit with notes of that milk chocolate, ripe round tannins there, sweet herbs, an excellent little bottle of wine. And by far the best value on the table at $20 a bottle. You've heard me say it many times. You cannot beat the value you get from wines from Argentina and Chile. All right, that's what we had to drink with our friends, our new friends from Dwarf. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.